It's hard to imagine a world where the brilliance of Leonardo da Vinci's designs didn't leave its mark. Imagine walking through the streets of a modern city, where sleek, streamlined cars glide past, futuristic architecture towers above, and the fashion you wear might remind you of something out of a Renaissance dream. But what if I told you that much of this modern innovation and aesthetic sense traces its roots back to a man who lived over 500 years ago? Leonardo da Vinci, the true embodiment of the Renaissance man, didn't just create breathtaking art. He also laid the groundwork for design principles that resonate through everything we see and use today. His works, from the intricate gears and his mechanical inventions to the delicate curves of his painted figures, were not only ahead of his time, they were a precursor to the design solutions we now take for granted. To understand Leonardo's profound influence on modern design, we need to look at the core elements of his genius. One of the first things that come to mind when considering his masterpieces like the Mona Lisa or the Last Supper is the sheer harmony in his compositions. His deep understanding of geometry, balance, and proportion created art that felt natural, human, and alive. These same principles are used today in architecture and design to create visually pleasing, functional, and intuitive products. The principles that guided Da Vinci in his artwork weren't just confined to the canvas. Take a moment to think about the design of a modern sports car, the curves and streamlined shapes that allow for speed and aerodynamics. Those very lines resembled the flowing curves found in Da Vinci's sketches of human anatomy, like those in his Vitruvian Man. Leonardo was obsessed with understanding the human body, its structure, and how everything connects. Insights he translated into his designs for machines, including those that flew or were intended to assist in warfare. It's no surprise that many engineers today look back to his mechanical designs as an inspiration for efficiency and functionality. What's even more astonishing is how Da Vinci's principles were applied beyond art and into the realm of pure invention. His studies in engineering weren't limited to the fantastical contraptions like the helicopter or the tank, but extended to practical elements of design that we now find commonplace. From the gears of his watermills to the way he thought about balance and proportion in building structures, his work was grounded in a mindset that still influences modern product design. Architects use his ideas about structural integrity when building skyscrapers, and designers use his attention to detail and function when creating gadgets that are both beautiful and usable. It's this perfect marriage of form and function, something Da Vinci mastered in both his art and inventions, that has led to his designs echoing through the ages, shaping everything from the clothes we wear to the cars we drive. The next time you're admiring the sleek lines of a modern building or the ergonomic features of a cutting-edge device, know that Da Vinci's work is still very much alive, guiding the creative minds of today. His work was more than just a product of its time. It was the seed for a design revolution that continues to bloom centuries later. And in the next part of this journey, we'll dive deeper into how specific aspects of Leonardo's design principles have left a lasting impact on everything from fashion to technology. So, keep your eyes peeled, because we're just getting started. When you walk through the doors of any modern city, you're likely surrounded by an environment that's been shaped by the principles of design and architecture. But what if I told you that the foundations of these very structures are often inspired by a man who lived over 500 years ago? Leonardo da Vinci's impact on modern architecture is nothing short of monumental. It starts with his unwavering commitment to understanding the relationship between form and function. Long before architectural blueprints became standard practice, Leonardo was sketching intricate designs that combined beauty with practicality. His study of human proportions, most famously seen in the Vitruvian Man, was a direct response to the ancient Roman architect Vitruvius, who believed that architecture should reflect the harmony of the human body. This wasn't just about making buildings look good, it was about making them work. Take, for example, Leonardo's work on the design of domes and arches. He understood the principles of weight distribution and how structures could stand the test of time. His innovative designs for arches, bridges, and dome ceilings, based on the geometry of the human form, would inspire future generations of engineers to think about buildings not just as collections of materials, but as harmonious, integrated systems. His designs pushed boundaries, challenging the idea that beauty and functionality were separate. And today, modern architects continue to use those principles when designing everything from public monuments to skyscrapers. But it wasn't just the beauty of Leonardo's sketches that had an impact. It was the incredible functionality embedded within them. For example, his detailed studies of water and hydraulic systems were groundbreaking. Da Vinci had an innate understanding of fluid mechanics long before modern scientists would formalize these principles. He envisioned complex water systems that could be used for irrigation, transportation, and even creating mechanical power. Ideas that are still relevant today in the design of sustainable urban infrastructure. His fascination with water also led to some of the earliest designs for hydraulic cranes and locks, systems that would later be refined by engineers and used in the construction of modern cities. Now, if you're thinking of the many modern bridges, dams, and other feats of engineering, you're seeing a direct influence of Da Vinci's work. The bridges he designed in his notebooks were some of the first to propose the idea of self-supporting arches, a principle that revolutionized civil engineering. And his early concepts of mechanical power inspired later designs in everything from factory machinery to modern automotive engineering. In fact, if you take a closer look at modern architecture, you'll find that many of the most iconic structures of our time owe a debt to Da Vinci's vision. The design of iconic landmarks like the Louvre Pyramid in Paris or the Guggenheim Museum in New York reflects Leonardo's understanding of balance, geometry, and spatial harmony. His keen sense of symmetry, the study of light and shadow, and his innovative approach to the structural integrity of his sketches paved the way for the next generations of architects to push the limits of what was possible in design. Even the iconic glass and steel structures that are the hallmark of modern skyscrapers owe something to the Renaissance genius. Leonardo's sketches of intricate gear systems and his research into forces like tension and compression can be seen reflected in today's use of materials like glass and metal to create visually stunning yet structurally sound buildings. His designs may have seemed like works of fantasy in his day, but today they serve as blueprints for some of the most cutting-edge architectural designs. What Da Vinci demonstrated more than anything else was that great design is not about working within the limits of technology, but about pushing the boundaries of what's possible. The way he connected art with engineering, seamlessly blending them together, is something that modern architects and engineers still strive to do today. His ability to create structures that were both aesthetically beautiful and ingeniously functional laid the groundwork for the modern world we live in. Next, we'll dive into how Leonardo's work in anatomy and his fascination with the human body helped shape not just architecture, but also modern product design. How did his obsession with perfecting the human form influence the way we design everything from cars to wearable technology? Stay tuned. It's hard to think of a modern product, whether it's a smartphone, a car, or even a piece of furniture, that doesn't incorporate some level of design principles rooted in the work of Leonardo da Vinci. While the genius of Leonardo's paintings and mechanical inventions is widely acknowledged, his influence extends far beyond the walls of art galleries and engineering journals. He laid the groundwork for modern design by merging art, functionality, and an inherent understanding of human form, leading to the sleek, functional products we use today. Let's start with something as simple yet complex as a car. If you look at the curves and lines of a sports car, there's something inherently beautiful and fluid about its design. That's no accident. It's not just about aesthetics, it's about form meeting function. Leonardo was one of the first to apply the concept of fluid dynamics to design. His studies of bird flight, water flow, and mechanical motion allowed him to grasp how different materials and forms could move through space efficiently. One of his most famous inventions, the flying machine, wasn't just a fantastical dream, it was an early exercise in aerodynamics. While it may not have been feasible in his time, the underlying principles Leonardo explored in his flight studies have been instrumental in the development of modern vehicles, from airplanes to cars. Car manufacturers, especially in the realm of high-performance vehicles, use aerodynamic design principles that are, in many ways, echoes of Leonardo's own fascination with the way things move through the air. Look at the design of a modern car. Streamlined curves, an emphasis on reducing drag, and a sharp focus on performance. While engineers today use advanced computer simulations and wind tunnels, the core principles, balance, motion, and efficiency, were the very things Leonardo da Vinci was already experimenting with in his sketches. The attention to detail in his studies of motion and the way he captured the natural fluidity of the human body transferred seamlessly to the world of product design. Speaking of the human form, let's not forget how Leonardo's studies of anatomy had a profound impact on the way we think about ergonomics and the design of everyday objects. In his studies, Leonardo meticulously dissected and sketched the human body, documenting muscles, tendons, and the very structure that allows us to move. This level of precision and understanding laid the foundation for what we now consider essential to product design: how a person interacts with an object. Take, for example, the design of an office chair. If you've ever sat in a chair that made you feel supported and comfortable for hours, you're benefiting from principles Leonardo championed centuries ago. His detailed anatomical studies didn't just inform how he painted or designed machines, they taught him how to optimize the relationship between human anatomy and the things we create to interact with it. In modern design, ergonomic principles are crucial, especially in industries like furniture and wearable technology. Devices are not just created for functionality, but also with an understanding of the human body and its movements, and this was something Da Vinci knew well. We also see Leonardo's influence in modern technology. specifically in the development of gadgets that combine form and function. Today's smartphone designs are sleek, lightweight, and optimized for human interaction. The careful attention to proportions and how the user's hand fits around the device is directly inspired by Leonardo's understanding of the human body. His approach to creating devices that not only serve a practical purpose, but also evoke an emotional response through their beauty mirrors. What tech designers do today when crafting the latest smartphones or smartwatches. Take the example of the Apple iPhone, often praised for its elegant design and intuitive user interface. The minimalist, seamless lines, the balance of weight and proportions, all of this can be traced back to Leonardo's belief that the perfect design is both functional and aesthetically pleasing. His understanding of symmetry and proportion didn't just shape his artwork, but also guided his approach to creating inventions like his mechanical wings, water-driven machines, and clock mechanisms. Today, designers use these same principles, incorporating them into the products we rely on every day. But Leonardo didn't just leave his mark on high-tech devices. His influence extends into the world of fashion as well. The lines and curves of his drawings, whether they were of the human body or his intricate machines, carry a sense of balance and fluidity that we see mirrored in modern fashion design. Today's designers often draw on Renaissance-era principles of symmetry and proportion when creating everything from haute couture to streetwear. The harmony of the human body, which Leonardo studied so meticulously, is still evident in the form-fitting sculptural qualities of contemporary clothing. As we continue to explore, we'll see how Leonardo's visionary ideas laid the foundation for the field of biomechanics and influenced the development of technologies such as robotics. His designs were driven by an understanding of human motion and a curiosity about how mechanics could mimic the human body. And in our next part, we'll uncover how these principles continue to shape modern robotics and artificial intelligence. Leonardo, the polymath, continues to be a guiding light for engineers and designers, pushing the limits of what's possible. Stay tuned for what's to come. Leonardo da Vinci lived in a time when the boundaries between art, science, and technology were not clearly defined. He didn't simply paint or design machines. He fused these disciplines together into a holistic worldview that influenced everything from engineering to biomechanics, architecture to modern technology. Today, we stand on the shoulders of this Renaissance giant, continuing to build upon the principles he first explored over 500 years ago. As we reach the final chapter of this journey, it's time to reflect on how Da Vinci's influence has seamlessly crossed the centuries and continues to drive innovation. Whether we realize it or not, his contributions shape the modern world in ways both subtle and profound. The field of biomechanics, for instance, owes a great deal to Da Vinci's anatomical studies. He was one of the first to explore the relationship between the human body and motion in such intricate detail. His sketches of muscles, bones, and the mechanics of movement provided a basis for understanding human biomechanics that continues to inform the design of robotic systems today. Modern robots and prosthetics, whether they're designed to assist with mobility or perform delicate tasks, are built on the same principles Leonardo used in his attempts to create mechanical humans. His fascination with mimicking human motion didn't stop with his sketches. He was one of the first to conceptualize machines that moved like humans, giving birth to the earliest ideas of robotics. These ideas laid the groundwork for modern robotics engineers who still study Leonardo's work to inform their designs. Look at the cutting-edge robots and exoskeletons of today. The movement, the way they emulate human limbs or bend with precision, mirrors Da Vinci's pioneering work in the study of human anatomy and mechanics. The engineers behind these technologies are guided by principles that Leonardo championed: functionality, married with a keen awareness of human form. Just as Leonardo's mechanical drawing sought to replicate the human body, today's robotics engineers strive to create machines that can interact with the world in the same way we do: efficient, fluid, and adaptable. But it's not just engineering or robotics that Leonardo impacted. His approach to aesthetics and design is something that continues to define product design today. The seamless integration of beauty and function, the way he captured the elegance of the human form and the natural world, became the foundation for the design philosophies we see in everything from consumer electronics to automotive engineering. Consider the design of today's smartphones: sleek, minimalistic, and intuitive. At its core, the design of such a product doesn't just aim to look good, it is based on functionality, user experience, and the efficient use of space. These principles are direct descendants of the same principles Leonardo applied in his work. His designs for machines, flying contraptions, and water systems were driven not just by theoretical science, but by an intrinsic understanding of how things should work together. Modern designers, from tech to automotive, use Leonardo's teachings to create products that feel natural to the user, providing both beauty and utility. And let's not forget architecture. The towering skyscrapers that grace our cities today, their majestic lines and carefully crafted curves, carry echoes of Da Vinci's designs. Modern architects borrow heavily from Leonardo's understanding of geometry and structure. His ability to design buildings that were both sturdy and harmonious in form is now a standard in the way we approach everything from residential homes to expansive office buildings. His study of proportions and balance in the human form translated directly into the study of proportions and balance in architecture. The fluidity and elegance seen in the work of contemporary architects are a testament to his lasting influence. Even in fashion, where designers strive to make clothing that complements the human form, Leonardo's understanding of the body's proportions, movement, and beauty continues to resonate. Whether it's the curve of a dress or the sleek lines of a tailored suit, fashion designers still rely on principles that Da Vinci first documented centuries ago. His meticulous study of human anatomy provided them with the foundation to create clothing that doesn't just fit, but enhances the human form in a way that feels natural, balanced, and harmonious. In every corner of the modern world, be it in the car we drive, the phone we use, the building we work in, or the clothes we wear, Leonardo da Vinci's influence is alive and well. His ability to unite art, science, and engineering in a single framework of understanding is perhaps the greatest legacy of all. He wasn't just a painter or an inventor. He was a visionary who understood that the world around us is interconnected. The principles of balance, proportion, and functionality that guided his masterpieces continue to shape how we approach the world of design today. Leonardo da Vinci's story is not just a historical one. It's one that's still unfolding, still influencing the work of architects, engineers, and designers in every field. His legacy reminds us that the true beauty of design is not just in how something looks, but in how it works and how it connects to the world around us. And as we continue to innovate and create, there's no doubt that Leonardo's spirit of curiosity, exploration, and boundless imagination will remain a guiding force for the future. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the lasting influence of Leonardo da Vinci, where art, technology, and design come together in a beautiful harmony that transcends time.